for those of you that have been hearing a lot about Navy Federal lately and it's just now starting to pique your interest and you're considering joining now but don't quite know if you're eligible to, then listen up because I got you. This credit union is not only just for people who are in the military, but for regular civilians as well, to an extent. In this video, I'm going to be talking about how to join Navy Federal, why you should join Navy Federal, and the do's and don'ts with Navy Federal. I'll also be giving you guys all the tea that you guys need, so that way you guys are set up for success and not for failure. So make sure you guys watch this video all the way to the end, so that way you don't miss out on any valuable information that can help you out. If you're already subscribed, then welcome back. But if you guys are new to my channel, my name is Ismael Sandiford, and you are now watching Just Money, where we talk about financial related topics such as personal and business credit, real estate, and other financial related topics. So if that's something you're into, then you're probably going to want to consider subscribing. But without further ado, let's get into today's video. Okay, so before I talk about how to join Navy Federal, let's quickly go over why you would even want to join in the first place. Okay, so a lot of people tend to make their way towards this credit union bank for plenty of good reasons. One good reason being is if you have bad credit, then you're still eligible for a lot of products that Navy Federal offers because they're bad credit friendly. Like for example, if you're trying to get a credit card with them, but your credit really isn't up to par, then you can still easily get approved for one. And the way that this is possible is because Navy Federal has their own lending guidelines. So if you didn't get approved somewhere else for a credit card, then you'll have a better chance over here. And not only that, but 9 times out of 10, the credit limit that you receive on that Navy Federal credit card is going to be your highest limit credit card. And I say this because Navy Federal Credit Union is known to give high limits on their credit cards. This credit union bank is not nicknamed the House of High Limits for nothing. But other reasons why you would want to join Navy Federal is because Navy Federal is a not-for-profit organization. So this means the biggest benefit of being a member with them is that they keep their fees and charges low. And they got good customer service 24/7. Now, the credit cards that they offer are going to have a 6% lower APR than most other credit cards out there on the market. And also, mostly all the checking accounts that they offer won't charge you a service fee just for having a checking account with them. Other banks such as Chase tend to do this if you don't have a specific amount in your checking account. But since we're already talking about checking accounts, most of the checking accounts that Navy Federal has offer ATM rebates. And those ATM rebates are going to be all the way up to $120 a year. And for those of you that don't know what an ATM rebate is, pretty much if you're charged a fee at an ATM, then Navy Federal will refund that back to you. I made a video not too long ago in regards to explaining all of Navy Federal's checking accounts, so if you guys are interested in watching that, then feel free to browse my channel or hit the link in the description below. But another reason you would want to join Navy Federal is because of their no income verification auto loans. Other lenders out there are usually going to require some type of proof of income when you're trying to get a loan to buy a car, but Navy Federal for the most part will not do this if you have a pretty decent credit score and you have a good enough relationship with them and decent income. Because these credit unions work differently than banks do because they tend to be relationship based versus only going by credit FICO scores, income, job history, and stuff of that nature. And I just want to mention one more thing before we start talking about all the ways how to join Navy Federal. If you're looking to refinance a car with Navy Federal, then they will give you $200 just to do so. And that to me is just the craziest thing because I've never heard of somebody else doing something like that. But anyways, there are so many things that you need to know about Navy Federal that I can't cover all in this video. So if you guys would like to know more, then just feel free to browse my channel because I cover so many topics and questions that you guys might have in regards to Navy Federal. But now let's talk about the juicy stuff. How can you join Navy Federal, especially if you're not in the military? What do you do? Okay, so first I'll be talking about the standard ways that you can join, and then I'll talk about some backdoor methods that you can use to get yourself in there. Okay, so to join Navy Federal, yes, one of the ways is you do have to be in the military. So if you're an active duty member in the Army, Marine Corps, Navy, Air Force, Coast Guard, National Guard, or Space Force, then you are eligible to start banking with Navy Federal. But you also can be retired or a veteran as well. So if you currently are or were in the military, then this would make you eligible. And also, if you're in something called DEP, which stands for Delayed Entry Program, then this makes you eligible to bank with Navy Federal as well. Now, this program is also known as the Future Soldier Program, and these are people who are barely signing up for the military but have not been shipped out yet for training. But you can also join Navy Federal if you're a DoD, Department of Defense officer candidate, or if you're in some kind of ROTC program as well. Okay, now let's talk about some backdoor methods to get you into Navy Federal for the civilians out there that are not in the military. So if you're an immediate family member of someone who is in the military, then this makes you eligible to start banking with Navy Federal. And when I say immediate family member of someone who is in the military, I'm referring to a mom, dad, sister, brother, grandchildren, grandparents, that kind of stuff. And I also want to mention that brothers and sisters-in-laws count as well. Now, the immediate family member that is in the military doesn't already have to be banking with Navy Federal for you to join. Like, for example, my older sister is in the Air Force and she did not have an account with Navy Federal at the time being when I first signed up with Navy Federal. But I was able to join join Navy Federal because I do have an immediate family member that is in the military. All you would need to do is just show Navy Federal their military ID or just some kind of document proving that you do in fact have a relative that is in the military. And this will not affect the military sibling in any way, shape, or form. I know some military family members might be scared because they think the bank's going to do something crazy with their information or they might be held accountable for anything, but that is definitely not the case scenario. All Navy Federal wants to see is proof and that you are in fact telling the truth and not lying about you having a relative that is in the military. I have a friend who has a brother that is in the military, and his brother did not want to provide any documentation so that way he could start banking with Navy Federal. The brother was kind of scared at first because he was just a little nervous about giving his information out. But then I explained to him that it doesn't affect him in any way, shape, or form. And once I let him know that information, then boom, my friend started banking with Navy Federal. But another way that you can start banking with Navy Federal is if you have an immediate family member that already banks with them, and they don't have to be in the military. So if you have a non-military immediate sibling that already banks with them, then boom, that's your ticket in. I have another friend and his mom banks with Navy Federal, so that now makes him eligible to start banking with Navy Federal as well. And his mom isn't even in the military, but she is an immediate sibling that already has an account with Navy Federal. Now, how did she get it? I don't know, but that makes him eligible to start banking with Navy Federal as well. But the last way that makes you eligible to start banking with Navy Federal is if you live with somebody who already banks with Navy Federal, and you don't have to be related to them by any means. So if I have a friend that wants to start banking with Navy Federal and we live together, then that is his ticket into Navy Federal. And if that friend moves and lives with somebody else now, and that somebody else wanted to start banking with Navy Federal, then they simply can. And then you can just keep doing this method because technically you are not doing anything wrong. These are the rules that Navy Federal set up. And also, if you guys are finding any of this information helpful, if you guys could do me a favor and hit the like button, I would truly appreciate it because it really helps me out a lot. But now that you guys know a few ways and hacks that make you eligible to start banking with Navy Federal, let's talk about some fraudulent things that are happening. So straight up, people who are not eligible to start banking with Navy Federal are doing fraudulent things just to get in. Look, I get it, guys. It's an amazing credit union, but it is not the only credit union. I came across a TikTok video yesterday to where a guy was condoning people to say they had a deceased grandfather in the military, so that way they were eligible to start banking with Navy Federal Credit Union. And then to make matters worse, there were people in the comments trying to sell their access numbers to people. And for those that don't know what an access number is, your access number is your unique member identifier assigned to you when you join Navy Federal. And you usually only give this access number to an immediate family member or somebody that you live with so that way they can join Navy Federal. But yes, I seen people in the comments selling their access numbers for $20. And ladies and gentlemen, I just feel like this is something very unwise to do because look, when Navy Federal catches you, and they're going to catch you, your account is going to get shut down. And you will never be able to bank with the best credit union in America for the rest of your life. And why? Because you threw it all away just for $20. Now, I'm pretty sure the people that sold their access numbers made a whole lot more than $20 because they got a lot of people to sign up under them. But if a lot of people are signing up with Navy Federal under your access number, then this is just going to cause so many red flags. And the person that was handing their access number out is going to be the common denominator. Navy Federal is going to shut that account down and all of the other accounts that signed up under them. And all of those other accounts will no longer be eligible to bank with Navy Federal ever again. I believe last year, if I'm not mistaken, Navy Federal closed over 100,000 accounts that were fraudulent. Imagine waking up one day and then your account's just not there anymore. Boom, Thanos snap. Gone. So I definitely wouldn't condone that you guys do this at all by any means. I just feel like you have a whole lot more to lose than what you're actually gaining. If you guys can't get in with Navy Federal, then again, there are other credit unions out there that are just as good. And I'll name a few just so you guys know. You can get in with Penn Fed Credit Union, Dover Credit Union, NASA Federal Credit Union, and then a few others. But these other credit unions are going to be just as good as Navy Federal, I promise. So just play your cards right, guys. But anyways, if you guys are eligible to start banking with Navy Federal Credit Union, then there's a few ways that you can apply. 1, you can apply online. 2, you can apply in person at a branch. And then 3, you can just call via phone. Some things you're going to need when you're applying is going to be your social security number, your current home address, your ID or driver's license, $5 because they're going to charge you a $5 donation fee, and maybe a credit card or a bank account routing number so that way you're able to fund your Navy Federal account. Now, if you're trying to fund your Navy Federal account and you live in a city to where there's no branch nearby, then there's 2 things you can do. 1, as I just mentioned, you can fund your Navy Federal account from from an external account, such as your current checking account from another financial institution. Or 2, you can have a friend or family member that's already a member with Navy Federal send money to your account. And you do this by using the send money to another member feature on the Navy Federal app. But I don't want to make this video too long, so if you guys want more information in regards to Navy Federal, then just feel free to browse my channel because I have so many videos and more information in regards to Navy Federal. Let me know in the comments below if you guys are a new member with Navy Federal or if you would like to start banking with them. And to my other members out there, let me know in the comments how long have you been banking with Navy Federal. But if you guys made it to the end of the video, then I truly do appreciate you guys. We are at 24,099 subscribers at the time of this recording, so I do appreciate all who watch. I do post weekly videos for those that don't know, and if you guys haven't yet already, don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe to the YouTube channel if you haven't yet already, and don't forget to hit the notification bell so that way you guys get notified every time I post a new video. And again, we talk about personal and business credit, real estate, and other financial related topics, so if that's something you're into, then you're probably going to want to consider subscribing. We talk about how to get high limits on your guys' credit cards, we talk about how to boost your personal credit, how to obtain business credit, we talk about real estate, we talk about mortgage loan programs, we talk about all that. So this is your one-stop shop. And for those that don't know, I am also a licensed real estate agent, a realtor, and I'm also a licensed mortgage loan originator as well. So if you guys have any questions in regards to real estate, all my information is in the description below. But thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Thanks for watching.